Like, why don't we get into we'll probably skip a little bit and go into TVs, because we talked last episode about your issue with the Sony X900H.
So yeah, that thing sounds like mostly just Sony being bad at PR and updating their website, and then like because they came out later and said that they are going to add those features, like they said before, through a version update, versus just removing the features from the website entirely, which is what they had done as of last recording.
Yeah.
So they're still on the calendar to happen eventually. Nobody knows when. I've seen a couple people say it might come in March. Who knows? So don't go returning your TVs if you like it, people. That would be my one comment.
I do have a quote. They say, actually in the quote I have, here we go. So Sony quoted this to FlatpanelsHD website. And the quote says, XH90 will support VRR and ALLM via a future firmware update. Any articles on Sony sites that stated otherwise have been updated with the correct information. So they, in that quote, they didn't say the X900H. And they did not provide a timeline like you just said. So I don't know if it's like...
Yeah, so they also updated saying the X900H is going to get that update as well eventually. They didn't give a date. I've heard rumors that it might be in March. Who knows?
Okay.
But the big deal was like on January 6th, they straight up just removed support on the American website entirely. And then everybody was like losing their minds wondering, is it coming? Is it not? Nobody knew. Sony kept answering, like if people called support, the support would be saying like, no, we're not supporting that anymore.
Oh,
so
wow.
it was just a PR nightmare. And like,
do you think
get your messaging right, basically, Sony?
I don't know. Here's a thought on it, because like some people, like you said, in other countries say it's going to be supported. But do you think they just didn't do it, or they forgot to do it, and or just caught too much flack from everyone online, and they're like, you know what, we need to fix this and do it? Like caught with their pants down.
I think it was a messaging thing and not like them removing support for it. I think they just did it in the wrong way.
Oh, okay.
Because they never came out and announced anything that they weren't going to support it, other than like changing their website to say it wasn't going to be support. Not saying it was not going to be supported, but basically they had like a checklist on their website and it said, not supported VRR, but it didn't say anything about like future updates. And then they came out later and said it's going to come out in a future update.
Oh, okay.
And I think, customer service, if you've ever called them, they usually just don't know.
Yeah, they're not like with the engineers next to them knowing what is coming.
Yeah, exactly. They're not privy, so what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So if you like your TV, people, don't go returning it. Obviously, this doesn't fix the current issues with like the firmware just sucking currently, but
and your HDMI 2.1 audio dropout issues are still happening, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I still turn on the TV occasionally, and there's just no sound, and I'm like, WTF, guys.
So still a bummer, but might be fixed.
Yeah. My guess is it'll get fixed eventually with firmware updates, but it'd just be nice if shit worked. But
100% agree, dude. While we're still on Sony, did you watch, or when you were watching Sony's expo on CES, did you see their info about the Bravia TVs?